everyone doing today? Let me just be sure. Okay. I just want to confirm that we're live now. Yeah, looks like things are working as they should now. How's everyone doing today? So the last stream we restarted the open source project I've been working on, which is basically an object relational mapper, query builder, query parser, basically like a static checker for a query language called SurrealORM. Database is SurrealORM. I mean SurrealDB, and I'm also looking to support other databases. So in this stream, what I'm basically doing is fixing up things because I did a very large refactoring, and I just need to polish things and fix a bunch of bugs and get things ready. Also, I'm going to be adding tests for the derived macro side of things, and yeah, that's pretty much what I'll be doing in this stream. So I did most of the changes here. I did add this new feature basically, but most of them have been just refactoring and making changes, minor changes in the API, especially the struct attributes. And in this stream, I'll just make sure in this crate called models, I have a bunch of models that I use for testing and just sharing across the code, mostly for testing anyways. And I want to make sure that things compile and work first. Then when we make things compile, the existing models, when they compile, we can then start adding tests. Once we add sufficient tests for the derived macro, we can go on to the next thing, which would be cleaning up the to-dos. But actually, before the to-dos, my plan is I intend to support a new feature called pick and omit, which would be some utility functions to carry out some stuff. If you've used TypeScript, you can think of it like that. And that would probably be the final features, apart from updating the libraries and keeping things up to date to the upstream SurrealDB database, because there will be a 2.0 release pretty soon. So I need to do the minor API changes, I believe, with define token and a couple of other stuff. So anyway, without wasting much time, let's just start with this. So currently I've got this. Let's close everything else. I've got this struct. We've been able to fix user. I had this test for with generics. So in this PR also, one thing I'm supporting is generics. So I'm supporting both param generics and also lifetime generics. So in this case, we have like this A lifetime and T generics with trait bound. So let's go. Let's check out these. H model struct must include in and out. It's interesting. I believe that would be an edge. Let's check that out. Okay. So let's try okay there. Let's take a look at that. Let's check that. That's not including this page. Do that. implement debug hider. So the type, oh, it's a closure, that's true. If we're gonna use a closure, then we can interpolate that. So I have to do this. In that case, we shouldn't even need that anymore because it's a primitive value. So again, false, and here we're actually expecting true. So one thing we could actually try is, let's go here and copy this whole thing, and actually what I'm gonna do is take this first. So this up to this point, I'll take this, let's call this A, and let's call the other one, let's just call this B. And I think we can improve this a little bit, just use a single filter and filter out in and out and assert that we have two fields. So that's something we could do to actually improve the logic there. Let's take that. Let's see which of these is causing issues. We'll do in, then we do alt. And B. Let's see what we get there. We're going false for that. And I'll expect, yeah, I'll expect any of this start. Okay, let's increase that. Doesn't implement display. Okay. Does this implement display? Can I move? Can I clone that? So we get in here. We shouldn't actually even need this in my opinion, because we've already taken care of that, but let's leave it for now. Works. So we can force if hi, it's Shana. I need to pick a call real quick. Um, I hope you guys can still hear me. I just had a call and I had to pick the call. I had to pick up the call. Yeah, so right here, this is actually quite interesting because let me check. I was checking this. So any basically test if any of the element of the iterator matches a predicate, and it takes a closure blah blah blah, returns true first. That applies. Search true first. Second writing some Python. Temporary value dropped. Yeah. So I can do that. So get the ins and outs. Let's check that. Okay, this gives us ID. Interesting. In time, so it pretty much gives us everything, which isn't what are you expecting. Except I'm missing something. Okay, yeah, that's it. That looks like we should be doing this. Interesting. is weird. That is weird. Am I still getting others? So basically, I'm trying to make sure that we have ins and outs, and I've been writing quite a bit of Python, so maybe my Rust is failing me now. But nonetheless, these I expect should, when we filter this, what can I panic within this? Let's check. Ha ha ha. Let's do that for these. Okay. Implement this, please. Let's just make that. Oh, I think I see. I see this. Let's see. Okay, so this isn't actually. I see. I see. So the problem seems to be that when we convert this to string, right? When we stringify it, so it's a token string. You can think of uh, so this is like a token stream, and when we try to convert the token to string, there are actually some extraneous characters. So for example, um, let's see. So you see for ID we have this slash forward slash, or is it backward slash, um, code. So basically escaping the code, and that's something we need to get rid of. I am a bit rusty, pun unintended, but that's what we're gonna figure out now, how to get out the extraneous characters and just get on, get get on. So I'm a bit. case we would have to use count, but it's going to consume the iterator. Yeah, but we actually don't mind. So here we could just do count, right, and protect we shouldn't even have that, but let's just leave it. Okay, nice. Save. Nice. So that works now. Okay. Structure. Hi. Hello. I'm good. Oh, okay. I'll check now. I'll just switch to this. Yeah. So I saw the video. Did you leave already? Oh, all right. So around what time did you leave? Okay. So around did you meet them around what time did you leave? Around what time did you leave the place? Yeah, yeah. I mean, like around what time did you leave the place? Oh, like 20 minutes ago. Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you. So I lost my train of thought. Okay, so we've got this nest array for this. We take a field type, which is optionalized. And we pretty much use that here. So why does this differ? Why am I doing something different here? So here, optionalized. Oh, I see. I see. I see. I see. Blades. None. Well, even for that, we should be generating something, right? So that's quite interesting. Um, let's just leave that first. And, Aryan, hi, what's up? Why use a Vim editor? There is no auto completion available for it, like in other IDE. You could use control space. I'm not sure what you mean, but I have auto completion here. Like auto completion works, doesn't it? I can show you an example. Let's check this. Um, this is auto completion, isn't it? Right? So auto completion actually does work. It works. And why use Vim? Vim is faster, it's flexible, it's extensible, it's standard also. So when you learn the Vim motions, basically the ways to navigate, you can pretty much apply most of them in pretty much every environment. You can use it in VS Code. I'm sure you can use it in IntelliJ and Eclipse, and you can even like if you SSH into your server, you can just use most of your Vim bindings, and um, I can imagine like I can SSH into my server, install Neovim, and have my configuration like basically a full blown IDE experience in my within my server. With this, you don't even need things like VS Code running online, like code and stuff like that. And once you develop the muscle memory, basically ways to navigate, there are a lot of things that if you ask me the command to do them, I may not be able to tell you because it's like just something I've developed in my muscle memory. And once you develop that muscle memory, it's just very quick for it. It's like way quicker to navigate around. So Vim is pretty like cool. VS, and also it's very like I can go to the top, go to the bottom. I can, let's say I'm trying to go to SEL, like the S up there. Let's just go. I can tap there. I'm there. Bam. If I wanna go to, let's say the so this place, right? All I just need to do is bam bam bam, and I'm there. And I can do that in many ways. I can do then I'm there, right? I can navigate. I don't have to touch my mouse. It's very quick. I can easily delete this. I can delete this whole thing within this block. I can remove this line, move it down here. I can do this. I can go to a specific line. Let's say I want to go to line 80. I know you can do most of these things in VS Code. Some of these things, not most. But the fact that you can use this in a lot of environments is like really solid to me. And it's just way easier to navigate. I can search through all the files, grab something and just search a bunch of stuff, and I can even do lead code within my Vim setup, so it's pretty solid. One thing cause yeah, we should actually be getting that, so that's interesting. Let's keep in the other fields. Skipping that. Hey, what's this? Updating. Oh yeah, I see. Am I using this else, right? The thing is, like, this is actually intentional because you normally, ideally, you shouldn't be able to update the ID, IN, and outfield because these are reference fields, at least in SurrealDB. But Shona, too powerful for you. It's not too powerful. You can you can get into it and get used to it. So actually, this is a feature, not a bug, because at least in SurrealDB, up till this moment, you shouldn't be able to update your ID, fields when you're using like an edge table, which is more like a bridge table. So that's why we have that here. Let me put a to do here. To do confirm new SurrealDB version if we can update in that field in edge table and ID in update that we should be able to update from maybe I'm old. I just use Notepad plus plus or something similar. But you're never too old. Like you can always pick up something new, and you never know how much this could actually change your life. I think it's worth trying for sure. For sure. For sure. So let's check this partial builder. We should be doing the same thing here. We should have DB field name, blah, blah, blah. Or I think probably makes sense to have that condition. Yes, partial, blah, blah, blah. Field idents. Don't care about the field. Just use this struct to check. What plugin do you use for this to do note highlighting and etc? Honestly, I don't remember, but I can probably find it out. It should be. Is it called to do? I can check my. Let me see if I can find it for you. Is your profile publicly available? Yeah, you can check. I'm using Astro, so you can check github.com//neovim. I'll get you the link. Right. First, if anyone is interested in this project, let's let's get a link out. How would you compare Rust with Swift? I'll answer the question in a second, but let me get you my Neovim stuff first. You can just go to my profile slash Neovim. You're gonna find my dot file. Yeah, you can use my dot file. Then So how would you compare Rust to Swift? That's a good question. Rust and Swift are actually quite similar in many ways. First, let me preface with I don't have a lot of I have not used Swift a lot, but I know quite a bit about Swift. So the original creator of Rust is Graydon. I don't want to murder the last name, but is the same like this the same original creator of Rust actually worked on Swift also. So he was hired by Apple, I believe, and he also worked on like Swift, and that's why Swift has borrowed a lot of things from Rust, like I believe some borrow checking kind of like principle, but they still differ in a lot of ways. Um, I can give more generic stuff, like I mentioned. I don't have a lot of experience with Swift, so I can only give more generic outlook on it. Swift is more tailored to the Apple ecosystem, and pretty much you're using Swift if you're building iOS apps. If you're not building iOS apps, like surely I'm sure you can have some backend framework and stuff for Swift, but if you like, Swift is basically semi closed source, because if you really want to be productive with it, you're probably going to be using Xcode, so you need to own a Mac and stuff like that. So it's a lot limited in my opinion in that way. And while they differed a lot more with Rust, I think with newer versions they're actually borrowing more stuff from Rust, like with the I believe the borrow checking stuff, um, to prevent race condition. I think Swift also supports something like that, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. I was using the previously famous Kickstarter config, but I imagine you already understand the config. Yeah, I use custom most of the time. Yeah, Kickstarter is good, but there's a lot it's not gonna do for you. So yeah, I lost my okay. We don't care about. So I'll be using Swift if I really want to do iOS development. Like I want to build an iOS Mac app. Um, you can do that with Rust also. There are a lot of bindings to the iOS ecosystem, Objective C, so you can write um, native iOS apps also in Rust, and you can also, of course, use WebView with Tari and Dioxus. What is the what is the fastest way to learn Astro and Vim? Is that the built-in tutorial specifically for Rust-based work? Is it? It's been a while. I'm the guy from Karachi. Yeah, I think I remember. What's up? What's good? Long time no see. Yeah, yeah, that should be the one. I might actually do a tutorial on that. I think it's pretty straightforward, but maybe because I'm already so used to it and it feels too straightforward to me. But we don't care about a field. We just use the structure check for names, serialized field names, compile and by searching that if field exists. Okay. Name, traffic, queue. Okay, I think that solves that. I'm trying to get productive with Neovim, but initially I'm just like, so any advice or videos you could recommend goes a long way. How did you learn to become productive? Practice, honestly. That's just what it is. You just have to put in the time, and you just have to be patient with yourself. Like you have to start slow with the simple ones, the basic navigations, HJKL, up, down, left, up, basic, left, up, down, right. Start with that, then start next up, go with F. So with F, you can. My F is basically a little bit more on steroid, but F you can do like motion to the next character on the same line. So the basic F on Vim would be something like if you do F to, let's say you want to go to the D on this, you could do FD and it's gonna take you there, right? Learn the basic motion, and to go to the top, you can just do GG. To the bottom, capital G. To go to a specific line, you can do like 50. For example, if I want to go to line 50, it would be 50. um Honestly, when I'm trying to say it, I don't even remember them as much because I've developed muscle memory. But let's say you want to go 50 down, you can go 50 down. You want to go 30 lines up, you can go 30k. So the nice thing about Vim is that once you learn the basic motion, you just need to add like the count. So you could do 30, 30, like let's say like we do like 40 down, it's gonna go 40 downwards. Let's say we do 50, it's gonna go 50 upwards. So learn the basic ones and add new motions to them, little by little. And which key is also very important. So when I do this, you're gonna see um, a bunch of helper commands, like basically what could I call this? Info, info pop up, and you can just use one of them. With this, you can familiarize yourself with the command. So it's just, it takes time and practice, I would say. So I think we semi did that. That's if we're saying that is done, then let's go. So it seems. Oh, why is that unimplemented? Okay, that seems to be working now. So we're getting only time now, which is exactly what we want, because in SurrealDB you cannot update the in and out fields, because those are, you can think of them as the like composite keys in a relational database. So if you have a fourth level normalization where you have a bridge table, you have the key from the first and the second table. So you shouldn't be able to update them, at least in the last version I tested, but I need to test that again and make the update if need be. Okay, so To expand macro, you can use I think it's Rust. Expand macro. I think that's the command. So you can check the command also on the GitHub page of Rust's Vim or something. This is the most important feature in there. Also, how do you like compile like pop on laptops or window like Tmax. I do use ZLJ, but I really don't use it as much because I have sessions and also navigator, yeah, terminal navigator. So I really don't see much use for Tmux, but I use ZLJ over Tmux, which is built in Rust also. Not even a video, you could basically make short where you explain this stuff to new Astro. That's a good idea. I can actually will probably make a video on that. That's how to compile a bit open and video to how to enable type interface, like the basic things you absolutely need to be productive with your Neovim. Yeah, good suggestion. I'll make a video on that. I'll make a video on it. Yeah, cause I have spent time learning this, and I might be taking it for granted that it's easy, but I will try to share my knowledge on that also. This thing, that basically just leave it away for now. Prepare this thing. Indeed for link self also. I can actually do generate. Yeah. Um, this thing. I already did that. So why doesn't that work for link one? Oh, I see. That's for option. That's um that's interesting. So link one is convertible to option thing and not thing itself, which makes sense because when you're linking, when you have a relationship, you can have a null relationship, basically a lost reference. So that makes sense. In that case, we probably shouldn't be saying this is a thing. It could be an optional thing, but not necessarily a thing. So idiomatically, it probably makes more sense to switch this to um, assertion of this. I think it makes more sense to change the assertion of this rather than implementing a thing for that. So let's remove that for this because those are not things, they are optional things. So let's see. Use the links. You can pretty much describe that. Yeah, it makes more sense to say this in is thin rather than link one, or in this case we don't even have to do it. Access assets option. This makes more sense. One last thing, how did you open the command line where you were writing rows expand macro? Just do colon. So you press colon, if that's what, yeah. So you press colon, that's what you use for that. Or I can maybe even just create a different stuff and say is link one, is link, is link one, is link zero, is link main. Thank you, Stabler. See you later. You're welcome. Happy to help. Let me know if you have any more questions. Um, oh, that was a mistake. Assert type is 10. Assert type is 10. This. Deteriorate default. Why don't we do the same thing for let's see it. Okay. This should be just separate. Nice. me just restart the whole thing just to be sure. Okay, so it's taking all these as IDs, as records, which is weird. actually, in this context, it should never be nullable. So I need to decide I if we could. Hmm, this is interesting because when you have like a link in a typical table, a link could also be null. But when we're dealing with an edge table, a link should never be nullable. It should always, it's just like the ID field, it should always be present. There should not, or there should never be a null reference for in an edge table. So that makes this actually quite interesting because when I have the links, so we have link one, link self, link many. The idea is that like when you have link one on a table, basically that's a one-to-one relationship or one-to-many. Link self is pretty much one-to-one also, but referencing the same table. The idea is that it's possible for you to have like a null reference to a table. Let's say that record has been deleted in the reference table, um, or the value is just null. You've not set the value for that. So a null values would be a valid thing for um, a field where you're supposed to have uh, a record in that case. But it's actually interesting because in that case, then it should be like an enum. So it could be option. Basically, in that case, it could be a record or a null because these values are different values. They are mutually exclusive. So you can either have a record or you have a null. So the idea is that when we're talking about link in terms of the types, should we talk should we think about them in terms of records, and if you want to represent um, the absence of that record, then we can use that option. So option of a link. So that's an interesting challenge. But if I go to, I believe, where was that again? Where I declared the sorry ID or something. If I remember correctly, let's check link one, for example. Link one. Okay, it's in links. So let's see link one, for example. Let's check link one. So link one is a reference, and a reference could be ID or not. Now I remember why I actually went for that approach. It's the reason I did that is for convenience. Yeah, I did that for convenience, so that for example, if you have a field, you can pretty much call a bunch of method on it, right? So links are basically, you can think of them as like options, and I did that so that you can, like, just for convenience, for convenience. So I think that makes sense. So like I said, I'm just getting back to this and trying to. So in that case, it would make sense to make this a link. Let's say. Although in this scenario, this should never be null, but I think it doesn't matter because the assertion we're doing is just for like compile time validation to make sure you're actually using the same stuff. Um, so But the interesting thing is, I just need to confirm if we're sure that this would never be null, like this will always be present, then that changes things quite a bit. Because if we go to link one definition, it's the referencing into this. So you can call get ID, get value. Value pretty much gives you the value, an optional, right? But I think we might want to have another type, like link one that is always present, right? Because when you're dealing with an edge table, the in and out fields should always be present. I believe so. They are not like deletable, and I can test that. Let me see if I've got surreal lists. Um, can I try in memory? Shouldn't it be possible to use in-memory database? I don't want to have to whip up the whole thing. Let's think that through a little bit. Cause I can create a wrapper around that. Link one required. Link one required. I cannot. That's let me try that. Link one. Link one required. You know what? I'll leave that for now. And when I start working with it, if it becomes an issue, I'm going to change that. It should be pretty easy to change it. Hey bro. Hey bro, what's good? No, I can. I wish I could have that. But I can just trade away. I think it's fine to trade away. Maybe I can. Maybe if I can get like a picture, I can take the picture now. Actually, can you help me zoom out a little bit? Nice, perfect. 1 second, I mistakenly shut my phone. Yeah, I got that. The back. What about the back? I got it. Yeah, you can throw it in the garbage. I don't know if you can tear it up. Yeah, if you can tear it up, just because it has my private information. Thank you. Oh yeah, perfect. Oh, thanks. So I was everything there. Really? For real? So the guy messed the place up? What? That that damn. That is nasty. That is really bad. So the oh, so they didn't even take everything, but I guess it's fine. It's not a big deal. Uh, ah, got it from a friend. Oh, okay, you don't take beer. But I hope it's not much stuff, like much work. Yeah, I told him to like clear everything. I thought he was gonna clear everything because he told me he was gonna clear everything, and because I like to clear like everything. Just yeah, I told him to like throw everything away, but I guess they already checked, right? Uh, it's, no, no worries. It is what it is. Well, is everything okay? That's good. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, nice. Great. Perfect. I'm hoping like this, maybe this month even. It's next month. Yeah. I'm just trying to sort some things out. Then I'm back soon. All right. I appreciate, brother. Thanks. Yeah. All right. So what was I missing? Okay. So basically, this should be optional for some things. Hmm. Assertions. So Okay, let's just simplify this part of the code a little bit. It's primitive. We don't really even primitive. That's if it's not. Probably. I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to do. Okay. You need to make that link. Okay, so it's saying that as a record type, which is actually valid in this context, in this case. However, however, anytime we've got link one, it has to be optional. So we need to the field type should be optional here. Let's go. Just get the tag. So yeah, here's the thing. Um, Actually, the more oh oh yeah, actually in and out should be link many. No, they should be link one. Yeah, yeah, they should be link one. Yeah, that's a one-to-one relationship. No, that should be link many actually. Yeah, that should be link many. In should be one to many, and out should also be to many, because that's actually a many to many relationship, right? And that's why we need the edge in the first place. So you can think of an example would be, let's say book and author, right? So let's say book and author. So a single author can author many books. So let's say, Shakespeare has written like 5 books, right? So has written the author has written 5 books, right? And a single book can be authored by many authors. So let's say The Lord of the Rings is written or was written by 5 people, right? In that case, there is many to many relationship. A single author with many books and a single book by many authors. So that's many to many relationship. So in that case, we could have an author table and a book table, right? And in order to manage that, we will create that's the first level normalization. We create a bridge table, and then we link. So we create a composite key, as a compound key, whatever, with ID from book and also ID from author. So we're gonna have the book ID and the author ID. So a single ID, a single a single ID would rep a single author ID, right, would link to many books, and a single book could potentially be linked to many authors. So um, that's actually a many to many relationship. So it should be a link many. So for every ID, every in is like the origin node in terms of like graph. In a in the in the context of a relational database, you can think about that as the first table. Mm, yeah. So this should actually be a link to many. Yep. It should be. It should be that. So it's good that I. So where's the right place to modify these? So I'm gonna have to make some changes. So this should be link many. This should also be link many. Yeah. That's a record. So it's that case, let's say record created. So this should actually be not just a record but vector of records. Yeah. Yep. Should be array of records. Yep. Should be array of records. So this should be an array. actually, I already have this. I could have just copied this. But it's okay. Um, yeah, let's get the ref node because do we have the metadata ref node? It's not that important. We don't have to be overly strict, so I will be maybe a little bit lax on that because I believe we could have multiple. Because SurrealDB is actually quite flexible on a lot of those things. That can be a good and a bad thing at the same time. Because I believe you can even have multiple stuff in and out, which wouldn't be completely wrong. Because when you're using a graph, um, an origin node could share the same edge, two different origin nodes. I mean the tables. So you could have an author could write a book and a student could write a book, or let's say a teacher can write a book and a student can write a book, and those two things, the teacher and the student, could be entirely different tables. So they can share an edge. So it would actually be more appropriate to be lax on that. So let's keep it away. Let's see this first. I think I'll probably call it a night soon. Um, I'm just still trying to get back into the groove. So there is one maintain. This I want this to be. This shouldn't be record any. It should be. So it's more appropriate to say it's an array now. It's an array. And inside of it is a record. Yeah, it makes more sense. Or link. I need to disintegrate this file. It's 1,000 lines coming to large. Okay, so this should actually be yep, that's, I would say that is more appropriate. Array of record. Almost. So you link many. We could go to links and we go to link many. Wouldn't it be fair to say link many is an array? I think it is. So we go to the definition there. Oh, this is supposed to be link many. So is array. We're inferring the internal as an array, but in this case it should be record. And honestly that should be probably fine. I think we should just treat that separately. That's interesting. I think, yeah, I should probably just say. Hmm, so here's, hmm, yeah, I think I should just do this. And that would resolve everything. Yep. So I'm just gonna take the. I just keep remembering the Trump Biden debates. Um, that's the funniest presidential debate I've ever heard. My brain is a bit foggy, but there's something I have I have like I have clarity around what I want to do now, but I feel a little bit mentally tired and probably should just go sleep instead. And that's probably what I'm gonna do. But um, here's it. So here we're saying we're doing a static assertion that this is an array, but I think we should just have it a little bit more strict. And in this case, we shouldn't have to try to assert for whatever is within this angle bracket. However, I'm noticing a bug in this situation. We are actually doing this twice, and so there is something I need to check with my recursive function on the other side, because right here it's extracting the inner bracket twice, and the first time it's inferring that as the top level type, while it's doing that for the so it's basically doing the top level twice. So it's representing the inner level as the top level type. In this case, asserting that link many is an array which is valid, but also asserting that in is also an array, while further asserting that it's also a thing. So I need to investigate that. The recursion should like terminate here, so it shouldn't go further. So it's either we have a recursive function that is not terminating when it ought to, at least for this scenario when we are handling link to many relationship. And I believe this might actually be the only situation where we are having this, and I already have a guess where this might be coming from. um, I think I might have an idea, but anyway, um, we need to investigate that and look at the root cause of that, and afterwards we are going to just assert that this is a link many, right? And that should take care of pretty much everything, because anytime you're working with an edge table, which is more like a bridge table in a relational database, you're expecting an in field and an out field, and those should be of link many types. So that's what I'm going to do. Is this necessary or even important? Maybe. Um, we definitely will catch this in other ways anyway, because anyway we're gonna do this and figure out the right thing. So this is what is happening in this link many. I'm basically passing the original type. In this case, it's gonna be an array of records, because that's a one-to-many relationship. We don't even need this full path stuff, but anyway, we're gonna leave it for now. I'm passing that. So what happens is that I parse, I run that in my macro, and that is gonna give me a vector or records as string. Then I do a second phase parsing of that string. So I serialize this into a string. It gives me the string, which within my macro I then parse that and deserialize that into basically what is then used. We pattern match that somewhere around here. Is it was it here? Yeah, so here we are pattern matching that, and as you can see, we pretty much just pass the type in here. So one thing we can do is figure out a way. When you're talking about an array is more like generic. It's broad, right? But if we want to single out the link many, which is also a subset of an array because it's an array, right? What we can do is single out that type when we have link to many, and then we assert that it's actually a link to many field. Or we can just say type is array, but I think in this context, probably using link to many might be more appropriate. Maybe a bit limiting, but I think it will be more appropriate, so that we can enforce certain constraint at compile time. So that's what we're gonna do. Yep, yep. We're gonna do that. Then figure out the recursion. Also, I think that would be somewhere around here. We need to figure that out. Those two things. Those two things would be my priority. So I'm just gonna copy this out. Yeah, I know what to do. Might complicate the function a little bit. I'm thinking if I should just buy the bullet or leave it till tomorrow. But pretty much I would have to pass these to maybe these three in addition to that. And top level check. Level check. So pretty much text to type and set. Just top level check. Oh, I see. I should probably input that. Anyway, I need to simplify this part of the code. It's getting ugly pretty quickly. So yeah, this is where we could have the check, right? So what we can do pretty much here is we can do Okay, yeah, I think I have clarity around that. I will just stop here and continue from here tomorrow. I think I know where I need to make changes, and for sure we have to refactor at least this module. It's over 1,000 lines, huh? So most some part of a new file, but we will make those changes first. I need to get some other stuff done, then get some sleep. Thanks for joining, and I hope to see you guys again. Bye bye.